Hey, it's Ronai. I'm so excited that you've come to our class tonight. We've had a little bit of excitement to get this started off, but we are ready to get started. For those of you that know me and Leanne, we are leaders of the AromaVibe. We're so excited to have you here, but we don't always teach every single class. We love to have guest teachers. If you're ever excited and you want to teach something here that is health and wellness related, we're super excited. And tonight, I'm very excited to introduce someone I have literally known my entire life, and that is my older sister, Dana. And Dana is an artist. She's a professional, so you are in for a treat. And tonight is all about recycling, reusing, DIY stuff. So, Dana, take it away.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to start off with the potpourri. I have 3 projects. I'm going to go through them rather quickly, but there are instructions on how to do them at home. So in the true spirit of recycling, I did not go buy a jar. You can, feel free, but this is a pickle jar that I am recycling in. I washed it out, and Leanne had a really good tip on getting the stickiness off, which is to use lemon oil. Anyway, I went for a walk in the park and I gathered sticks like these. I picked them up off the ground, free. And I broke them into pieces because wood absorbs the oil really well. And so I have a bunch of pieces and I'm going to put them in the bottom of my potpourri jar. Now, pine cones are also very natural and good for absorbing oils, because we want the oils to be absorbed so that we can smell them longer. Now, in the spirit of this recycling, I also picked the pine cones up off the ground, and I have little tiny ones and they're super cute. So I'm going to put a handful of those in the bottom. And we also want some color. Now you can add berries and you can add tree twigs in there, or like evergreen twigs in there if you want for a little bit more color. But I didn't want that because then my potpourri jar can't last as long. The stuff will go bad in there. The berries would go bad. You can put nuts in there. They also absorb the oil very well. I am putting in little red pom-poms. They're made of material, so they will help with absorption. Stick that one down a little bit more. And you just want to layer it. Some bigger ones, some littler ones, and a little bit of color. Then, after you get all of your pieces in there, now you can go and buy a lid, a special lid with a grate on top. But in the true spirit of recycling, I had some tulle on hand. So I'm going to take a piece of tulle and I'm going to fold it in half, fold it in half again. And then on the corner, I'm going to make a triangle and fold it in half. And then I can take my scissors and I'm going to cut a part like a circle so that the top is cone shaped like an ice cream cone. And then we can take that. I'm going to use some hot glue and I'm going to tack it just a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other so that it stays in place while I do my ribbon. But I am going to, and don't burn yourself. And then I am going to take I have some thick red ribbon and I want enough to go around it. So I'm going to cut a large piece and I'm going to fold it a little bit because it's going to go around. I need to tack it one more time. You can tack it as much as you want.
My husband doesn't let me use hot glue because I burn myself.
I know. I have a low temp glue, so
It
I'm
doesn't
less
matter.
likely
I
to.
still burn myself.
And then you can put that around. And you also want to glue this so that it stays in place. So you can use regular glue if you can't use hot glue. Like I said, I have mine. I folded it over in thirds to wrap it around the jar. And then I'm just gonna glue them. I'm not gonna tie, but I'm gonna glue them so that they crisscross. So it needs to crisscross. A little glue, crisscross. And then, now I have a bow that I've already made that I can put on here. And to make this bow, it doesn't exactly match, but it looks good. I think it looks good. I like a lot of color. Okay. And so to make that bow, I cut 2 strips about 3 inches long. And then I do a third one, just a tiny bit smaller. And I'm not going to totally make the bow. I just want to show you how. I just crunch it in the middle. And then I tie it with, you can use a little bit of wire, or you can use string. I don't have my string cut, but then I do the I'll scrunch up 2 side by side, and then I scrunch up the smaller one, and I put that one in the middle, so you can see how it is kind of layered. And that's how I got this bow, although this one's tied. And then I will take and glue this bow on. And then you can decorate it. You can put some buttons. You can put some little fancy Christmassy doodads on it. Whatever you want to do. And then you take your favorite oil. And in the instructions, I do believe it says about 10, I think it was. You put a few drops in there, and then you can set it out as a pretty. And so when it starts to not smell as strong and you want to add more, you can add more. You can make several different ones, and you can use different scents. Like you could put peppermint and cinnamon and maybe lemon together and then put them next to each other. And then you have several and they will diffuse into the air. Any questions?
Now, just a reminder, you go nose blind after 7 minutes of being in the same scent. So if you walk out of the room for a while and you come back, you'll be able to smell it again. And I would do peppermint and cinnamon and wild orange, because that orange and cinnamon together is always good. You could also do On Guard and tangerine. I really love On Guard and tangerine together. Leanne, what are a couple of your favorite combinations, especially holiday smells? Like clove and wild orange is very holiday, and it's really immune supporting.
Oh, see, and I like cinnamon and wild orange to kind of give that wassail smell. But truly the best thing On Guard, guys, is one of those holiday smells that is fantastic because it does smell kind of like that wassail smell. And adding a little bit more wild orange to it if you want. I also am a pine girl. So I love mixing our Douglas fir with our Siberian fir. And for those that got the 125 PB rewards order, they get balsam fir. So I really do like mixing the firs, and you can add in a mint with the fir and it smells really yummy.
Cool. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions about this project?
Yeah. So I'm tying the bow as you guys are talking so that I can get my bow ready for the next project.
Perfect.
All right. And so
Enjoyed that project.
what's that?
I really enjoyed that project. Thank you.
Yeah, I
What's
thought it
nice
was
is it
fun.
literally can be almost no cost.
Right. Mine was everything I had on hand. I didn't spend any money to make this. I already had the ribbon. I already had everything. So I just totally made it. And some of it's scrap. The ribbons I have new, but like the tulle is left over from my daughter's wedding a few years ago. I just shoved it in a box and figured I'd use it someday. So, and you can buy special lids. They do sell them like Hobby Lobby, other places, but anyways, so, and you can put other things in it that you want. So I'm going to move on to the next thing. The next thing is a really simple diffuser that you can, I made it into an ornament and you can hang it in your tree. Can you see that? Okay. For me, it's everything's super tiny. So I took the same twigs that I had before and I used my scissors. And so what I did for this was you start really small, a little tiny one, and then you can lay it next to it and make the next one a little bit bigger.
Make
And
sure you're using
so
your
on.
crafting scissors, not your sewing scissors.
These are my material scissors. And these are my everything else. That's why you keep seeing me switch scissors. But you can just lay it down here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just chop it. I've actually used an X-Acto knife before. Being in a hotel room, it's not conducive to X-Acto knives. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to get, as you go down, you've got your triangle shape, which makes your tree. Then you take a longer piece and you can, some of my stuff got wet when I spilled my water. But you can take the pieces and glue them onto a stick. Leave a space in there. And you can continue going. I'm just going to go that far. Super simple. I actually give it a minute to kind of some more hot glue. And then I'll hot glue it again across the back just to help it stay in place. And to be super simple, takes a minute to glue. Sometimes you gotta use more glue. Okay, and then I just took a simple sparkly little pom-pom. And you can use any colors you want. I have a little sparkly white one. So I think I'll glue the white one on since I have a red one. And then I take some white ribbon and cut it about 6 inches or so. Hoping. Let me know if I go out of screen because. And then I tie a knot at the very bottom. And then, oh, I glued it to my paper. Yay. And turn it around and hot glue the little ribbon onto the back so that you can hang it up in the tree. Again, sticks, absorb the oil, put a few drops of your favorite oil on your, I don't have, this is an empty bottle, so it has maybe a couple drops left in it. So anyway, this one's a little thicker. You can put as many or as little as you want. You could actually, if you wanted to, put a whole bunch of little pom-poms so it looks more like a decorated Christmas tree.
That's such a cute idea. And what a great diffuser.
Yes, and this one, some of them I found some ideas on Pinterest. This was my own idea.
Question.
Yes.
How often do you have to add the oils?
So oil, do you want to answer, Dana?
I was going to say you could wait a day or two in between.
Okay.
Let it have time to, kind of fade a bit, and you could add a drop or two each day or wait 2 days. It really depends on your preference.
Okay, perfect.
Usually when you put essential oils on something, like if you look at, soaking pine cones in cinnamon and that kind of stuff, it usually does last longer than we realize it lasts, because like what Ronai talked about before, we go nose blind. And so it really depends on how heavily you put the oils in the first place. Like you may only want to use one of those sticks and make sure that that's the one that you're putting the oils on every time, because it will last longer and longer as it saturates that wood.
Or if you put it on the pom-pom.
Yeah, you could do that too. All righty.
That was
So now-
really cute. I'm excited to do that one with my grandkids.
Yeah, and like my cats, cats don't like citrus and peppermint, so guess what's gonna go on my tree? All right. This one was totally my idea too, because Leanne says, well, we need to be recycling doTERRA, like doTERRA bottles. So I made a cute little ornament out of the bottle itself with some bows and embellishments.
That
And
is
then-
super cute.
And you can go to town. I went to town on this one. Used some of my pine cones and everything. And you can also, I made this one so I could take the lid off.
I was just gonna say that if you're using your empties, then just take the lid off, because then it's a natural diffuser, because your empties are never truly empty.
So that's another way to get more of the oil out of the bottle. So these are the two that I made. You can make them however you want. This is so I'm not putting any oils on this, so you can use the plastics and the stuff that doesn't go well with the oils. So this one's my favorite. And again, I just tied, you got to play with your bow a little bit. I just kind of make fake bows, because nobody's going to take it apart to see if you really made a real bow. So then I can take this, and I left the string. I haven't cut the string off yet because I want to tie it to my bottle and then glue it to my bottle. But I can take now some of my pom-poms. Actually have a whole bunch of little tiny pine cones left over. So I can take and get some of my littler ones, maybe a stick or two. I also have some curly ribbon if I wanted to add curly ribbon. I have some little gold glitteries. I think I'm going to use the gold. So I just have some gold foliage stuff from the craft store, and this is left over from something else. So I'm going to add some gold. And don't burn yourself. So I'm going to go really good with the gold here. Like I said, have everything right here at my disposal in my little box. All right, and then I'm going to glue on my little pin cone. Well, if I want to, I can take some of my curly ribbon. I'm going to take my curly ribbon. I'm going to make them about 6 inches long-ish. Now I'm going to hold them together. I'm going to curl the ribbon.
It makes it look so easy.
I know, I was just thinking that. I'm like, you kind of have to be crafty to do this.
I learned a long time ago, people have different talents, and just because you think it's easy, someone else may not.
No, but you actually make it look like, oh, we could totally do that. So that's nice. You're not like, sometimes when you see those things, you're like, oh, nobody can do that. But this is
Well,
great.
yeah, you'll see the finished product, and it doesn't look like you just threw a bunch of stuff together. It'll look like maybe you bought it, or
That's really cool.
so it's all about the ribbon, because we're really not going to see the just cut this off. I can cut string with my material scissors because they're sharper. It's more about the ribbon than it is the bottle. So there that is. Oh, I forgot my string. You got to be able to hang it. I'll cut a green ribbon, give it some more color. And you just tie it at the end. I'm hoping you can see all this.
Yes,
Yep.
you're doing a great job.
Good, okay. And then it gets top heavy. So if you want it to stand up straight, you need to slip your, I should have done this first. You need to slip your ribbon right on the bow, where the bow meets the jar. I'll let that dry for a few minutes, but there's my finished decoration.
Very cute.
It's so cute.
And that's what I have for this evening.
That is awesome. So, I this year added a new one. Some of my other ones are a little bit older. But this year, my kids love Chex Mix. And so we kind of made, and I don't know if you guys can see, a festive little Chex Mix using the candy melts that are colored. And this one is completely gluten-free. So, and allergy-free. Now, we did make some, and you'll see in the instructions, I used Honey Nut Chex as well, but Honey Nut Chex has almonds in it. So we had some bags that we just did rice Chex and corn Chex, because then it was gluten-free and it was nut-free. Unfortunately, candy melts have dairy in them, so it is not dairy-free. But one of the fun things you can also do is just make candied popcorn or colored popcorn. You can do that by getting the candy melts and putting your favorite flavor of oil in them. So this one is super mint that I put in with the actual chocolate that I drizzled over. Last year, I did green popcorn that was flavored with the spearmint or the super mint. So it was a Christmas mint popcorn. I have also done chocolate wild orange popcorn before. One of my other favorite ones, I'm going to share my screen again really quick. Couple other fun ones that you can do with your kiddos. These are stir sticks. So I'm going to open them in a new window and see if you guys tell me if it flips to my other screen.
Yep.
Okay. So you just get sucker sticks and you dip them in either chocolate or white chocolate. And you're putting 8 to 15 drops of essential oils in with the 6 ounces of chocolate. So we did wild orange in the white, and we did peppermint with the chocolate when we did it. Or no, spearmint. My daughter chose spearmint. And then what you do is that can become your stir stick for your hot chocolate. So you're infusing. So we just packed it up for our kiddos, and for families, we just went and got Nestle's. And for my kids to give individual friends, we packed 1 hot chocolate with 1 stir stick. So that makes a fun, easy neighbor gift that, if you're doing doTERRA as a business, can also be a way to introduce people to using essential oils. Just a little helpful tip there. Another one that is a favorite that I've been doing for years is this sweet and spicy popcorn. This one, I actually have a video walking through it so that you can watch the video, but here's the recipe. This is also a super great one to introduce people to oils, but it's also, you cannot use the white chocolate to drizzle over, and this will support your immune system. Where you're using healthy fats and pure maple syrup in with On Guard and cinnamon bark and clove, which supports the immune system. So just a little helpful hint there. Okay, some of the other ones that I love to do. I just messed up my link. That was fun. Let's see if I can get it open on my other window. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot to open a new window. The next one, oh, it still didn't work. You know, gotta love technology. Let me stop sharing and I will go back to it. Always fun. While I'm trying to get the right one to come back up, is there anybody who has looked at the doTERRA's website for DIYs?
I have.
Okay, is there a favorite on there?
For the DIYs?
Yep.
I have the one I was going to show.
Perfect. You do that one.
Okay. I'm like, okay, so this one, you guys remember I told you how hot glue and I, my husband literally was like, Ronai, no. So this is shown on there with hot glue, but I'm going to tell you, sticky dots are my friend because hot glue and I are not friends. I have burnt myself enough with it, but this one literally, it's already mostly done. I saved the last bit, but if you just put a sticky dot on here, you can wind the twine, right? And you just want to wind it kind of nice and tight. And then, of course, when you get to the end, you'll cut the end off. But cool thing about this, first off, they're cute little bottles, right? But if you take the lid off, and of course, I forgot I have those skewers, right? The little wood skewers. You could also get wood from outside. Just put like a couple of wood reeds in here and put a couple drops of essential oils. You've got a great reed diffuser. What's cool is they now have the bigger glass bottles from the frankincense capsules or the PB Restore capsules. Do the same thing, right? It's just a little bit of twine. It makes the bottles pretty. You can give them as gifts, which is kind of fun. So that's always the one that I like to show because this was, again, reusing the bottles. It makes it pretty. It's just a little bit of jute twine. Simple.
Yeah, one of the fun things is on the actual website, it says to use it for small air plants.
Yes. But I can't keep those air plants alive.
I haven't been able to either, but I thought that was a cute thing too, is, you know, get those cute little air plants.
So, but for those of you that are hot glue challenged like I am, then glue dots are amazing.
I love the glue dots idea. That is awesome. Very cool. So again, on the class handout at the bottom, there is also gingerbread bath bombs and scrubs that can be done as cute little gifts. So make sure you check out the handout. And we also, I was going to tell everybody that if you made a handout to share it, I did luckily recover our Facebook. I was able to say that we got hacked. This was offensive content to us as well. So again, we apologize for that. I'm going to stop the recording and then you guys can ask any questions we have.